Here we are in studio, Create, Build, and Manage. Today we have not one but two officers with the Arlington Police Department. That's the Arlington, Texas Police Department. You may have met Sargeant Coleman earlier, but we have a new man here with us today, Bryan Graham. Welcome to the show. How are you, buddy?
I'm well, thank you for having me.
So tell me about you. Tell me about you what do you do at the police department?
So I'm the recruiting officer for Arlington PD. We've always had a personal recruiting unit, and last year they created just a recruiting position. I put in for it, and then here I am.
And there you go. Well, so if they just started this position, how did you end up being a police officer? It's not like you got recruited, because there wasn't one.
I went to school. I went to college for criminal justice. I knew earlier on that I wanted to be a police officer. And probably not all my life, but I knew for a while. So when I got my degree in criminal justice and then got hired on by Arlington PD.
Did you look at other departments too, or did you kind of know you wanted to go to Arlington?
I like this area. I knew I wanted to work for a bigger department. I did put in for other agencies as well, probably about 4 or 5 others. But yeah, Arlington called first, and so here I am.
Well, I was doing a little background on you today. I'm not an officer, by the way, but in my own way, I did some background research. You've done a lot of stuff within the department. I mean, we talked about where you were and where you are, but talk about some other positions you've held throughout your career.
So I've been here for a little while. August will be 23 years for me.
Good for you.
I spent about 10 years on patrol. I was a field training officer for 3 of those years. I was on our part-time SWAT team for about 5 years, and then in 2010, I transitioned to our full-time SWAT team, and I did SWAT from 2010 until July of last year. So almost 12 years of SWAT, and then going on almost a year of recruiting.
You know, Officer Coleman, we were talking earlier, and he just touched on it. There's a lot of opportunities in there. I believe you use the term special units, the variety of special units, SWAT, et cetera. Am I missing some? Is there some other stuff going on at the department?
So I'll say we have almost 50 specialized units, and I believe there's opportunities within the police department. I think I've been in about 6 specialized units since I've been in APD. And so if you work hard, the opportunities are there for you.
Do either of you have a secret goal to click all the boxes and be in all the 50 units, or are you kind of okay?
Yeah, I'm good. And honestly, I've worked with almost every unit in our department. I've never done an investigation myself as far as a detective, but being on SWAT, we've served warrants for probably every unit in the department. So I haven't worked with that in that unit, but I've worked alongside probably every unit that we have.
Do you think it's a good thing, too, to when you have people with this cross-training, if you will, working with the different departments, you can understand how they work? So even if you were in this department and now you're over here, but then you need to work with that, when you know the way they think, does it help make a more cohesive overall department?
I think it does. Teamwork is very important within policing. And then also knowledge sharing is important, because we're not going to be, Bryan says he's been here for 23 years. I'm not going to be here forever. So it's good to share that knowledge to up-and-coming officers that are coming.
Well, it gives you a little hope, realizing, the day you get hired and you've got experiential knowledge yourself, you're not doing the same thing. You've done a lot. Well, let's go back to Arlington, Texas here just a little bit. My hometown, by the way, I'll get that out there. Arlington has a lot of stuff other cities don't, and I'm specifically talking from the entertainment aspect. I mean, talk a little bit about the stadiums and all the events that go on in those stadiums and the role that the police department, quite frankly, serves to keep everybody safe.
Yes, we do have a lot of events here, and like you said, a lot of unique and different ones too. Even though it is, AT&T Cowboy Stadium or Globe Life Field, Rangers Ballpark, there's a whole lot more than football and baseball that goes onside those. We've hosted a Super Bowl. We've hosted 3 World Series. And yes, if you're a Rangers fan, they've only been to 2. But in 2020, when the rest of the country was pretty much shut down, we held all National League playoff games here and the World Series, all 7 games. So yeah, that's where our 3rd World Series comes from.
When the Dodgers won the World Series, they didn't win it in L.A.
They did not.
They won it right here.
Yes, sir. And we've got an upcoming MLB All-Star game next year. We've got World Cup coming in 2026. I've worked all kinds of concerts and just all kinds of stuff.
Well, does that fall into the realms? I just thought of this, but from a recruiting standpoint, I mean, the police officers, quite frankly, being totally transparent here, you can pick up some additional income because of these other events. Is that correct? You can work these other events.
You can, and it pays very nicely. And
right.
If you're going to go on vacation, that's the good thing about being in law enforcement, is that you can pick up extra money. If you want to go on vacation, you can pick up an extra job, and they're always coming. One thing that our office does is we manage part-times that come into our agency, and so I get calls every day about different venues. I'm looking for officers to work part-time jobs.
Well, I would think from a recruiting standpoint, do you use that hook or not? Or maybe I just gave you the idea.
No, of course. But some people, don't want to work the extra, and we tell them you don't have to work those games. No one on city time is at the ballpark, at the stadium. They choose to be there. So if you just want to do your 40 hours a week and then go home or want to go to the game and be a fan and not have to work it, that's what you do. You don't get mandated to do that. That's all you're choosing. But if you want to work it, there's plenty to work.
Well, it's another plus for Arlington. It's just another opportunity. Should you choose to go that direction, great. If not, that's great as well, because there's plenty of others that would. Let's talk a little bit about Arlington, the community. You know, you've been here for 23 years. Last segment, how long you've been here?
13 years.
13 years. You've been around, but from a community standpoint, how's the support from the Arlington community? I know it's not. It's at different levels in different parts of the country. Where's the Arlington community support as far as you guys are concerned?
We get a lot of support from our community. We have a good relationship with our community leaders, our church leaders. I'm not going to say Arlington's perfect. We've definitely had our issues. It hasn't been to the extent that other departments around the country have had, but we've had issues that could have led to almost that degree of unrest with some of the citizens. But with the relationship we have established and that we hold, we can keep something from becoming more than it is.
Sure.
We don't hide from it. We address the issue when there's an issue, but we know that we have the support of the community, and the community knows that we'll do the right thing, and we work very well with each other.
I'm around Arlington a lot, and I see police out a lot. And a lot of times it's just glad handing, shaking hands, having a good time, but the whole time you feel safe. You've been around. Do you feel that same way with the community? Do you feel that they welcome you and they're glad you're here?
I do. I can't tell you how many times I've been out to dinner, working on patrol, and they'll tell me somebody paid for my food, but won't tell me who did.
Wow.
And it's just, that shows the support that we have in the community and just how well we're treated by our citizens.
That's
I
great.
believe the relationship is mutual. I heard somebody describe it as a bank account. You put those deposits in the community, and sometimes you have to make a withdrawal, but you make those deposits every day.
Well, and it's important too, because any relationship in any type of business, particularly with law enforcement, if you're at the school talking to the kids, people are watching that and they're seeing that, and you're not doing it for the simple fact that you just like to do it, but people remember that. And when it's time to vote on different things related to the police department stuff, they're going to remember that. Then you guys I love that analogy with the bank account. Going back real quick to the events, you've worked a lot. Is there one event that stands out for you just from a coolness factor that you enjoyed more than others?
Oh, one event. I don't know. I mean, it was cool to say that we're at the Super Bowl, to see that.
Sure.
But at the time I was on the SWAT team, so I was just kind of hidden in a closet, and we watched it on TV, so I didn't really get to see much. The World Series were pretty cool, seeing the different people that were coming through there. And I think one of the coolest things was it wasn't even the World Series yet. It was still the American League playoff, and they were playing the Yankees, and Reggie Jackson was there, and he came walking by, and it was pretty cool seeing him.
It was one of those, hey, do you know who you are moments? Mm-hmm. Well, that's just one of the things Arlington is known for its entertainment aspect. And again, those stadiums are truly entertainment. It's not just athletic events. There's other events, even big conventions we didn't get into. There's always something to do. But all of that combines with so many other things to make Arlington, Texas a great place to be a police officer because of the need for constant. You almost have 50 different special units, and they're doing a lot of different things from SWAT to so many of the other things we discussed. But from an employment standpoint, for a recruit, they know that there's multiple opportunities for advancement within the department. You and I talked earlier about the importance of promoting from within.
Sure.
It's got to be a good, pleasant. Arlington's just a cool town. Arlington's blessed to have you and everybody on board with the department, but we're always looking for more. So thanks for being, and you know what? We're going to be right back.